Hello and welcome to the Luxury Lounge. That's right, every Thursday we head in the lounge, we shut the doors, and we air our grievances with the world. And there is no grievance that is too big or too small or too frivolous. Any grievance is a good grievance because it's your grievance. That's what the Luxury Lounge is all about. Letting the world know your problems with it, and nobody can come up to you and go, no, there's bigger issues. No, there's no bigger issue here. Your issue is the biggest issue. And if you want entrance into the lounge with your complaint, all you got to do, email jtrainpodcast@gmail.com. That's jtrainpodcast@gmail.com. Title it Luxury Lounge. Give us a little taste of what you're talking about in the title. My man Shelby behind the curtain over there is going to go through the emails. He's reading every night. He's got his little tiny reading glasses. He's got his candle lit, his little nightcap with the pom-pom on the end. Shelby sits there by candlelight reading your complaints, and he gives me the best ones. And we like specificity. That's right. That's 3 words. Specificity. That's what gets you on the lounge, because we love a specific complaint. A complaint that has juice in it. I can really gnaw on the bone. JTrainPodcast@gmail.com. Keep sending them in. And listen, I want to take a moment to thank you. If you're on YouTube, I'm looking right at you. I'm looking right into the camera. Thank you for subscribing to the YouTube channel. If you're listening and I'm in your ear, I'm literally inside your body. That's right. Papa JT is inside of you right now. That's right. How does it feel? It feels good. I want to thank you for putting me in your earbud every Monday and Thursday. And if you have liked or shared the podcast, I want to thank you. It feels so good. Ooh. When you share the show, I can feel it. I can feel it from wherever I am in the country. It is like you taking a feather and just see this feather move I'm doing on YouTube. If you're on youtube.com/Jared Freid, you can see me with the feather. It is, there's a part where the man or woman or they, them, upstairs, sewed you up. That little seam of the balls, okay? It goes down the P and around the balls and straight to the anus. And it's like you're taking a feather and it's like you're miniature and you're underneath me, just feathering back and forth my nuts. That's what it feels like when you share the show. Now, if you're listening right now and going, I've never shared the show. What? It's time. Today's the day. Let your friends know. Your brother, your sister, your mama, your papa. Anyone with ears. We'll take the earless community as well. Also, I'm on the road. I'm on the road again. I'm telling funnies on the road again. I'm coming to your town. I'm gonna make you laugh. Bring a friend. I'm on the road again. Wow. Shelby, was that the best rendition yet? Beautiful. Raleigh, North Carolina. I'm there tonight through the weekend. I'm also coming to some new towns. I'm coming to Chicago. We're doing a live U Up. New York, we're doing a live U Up. And I might have mentioned this on other platforms. A warning, I'm going to be going away for a little bit. This podcast will not go away. Your boy Papa JT don't take weeks off. So doesn't your boy Shelby over there on the ones and twos. So the podcast will keep going. You can watch all my exploits on Instagram story. What I will take a week off from will be the Bachelor live stream. That probably won't happen when I'm away, but that is for another date. But Dayton, Ohio, I'm coming to you. Brooklyn, New York, I'm doing a show. It's a one-night only event. It is the Chosen Comedy Festival. Bunch of Jews getting on stage in Coney Island. So that will be fun. That will be different. I'll do all Jewish humor. I'll do Jewish specific jokes. I have a couple jokes in mind that I would probably do for that. Coming to Washington, D.C. again. Those shows, D.C., I know you're there. We got to sell those out. Royal Oak, Michigan. Okay, my mom is from Southfield, Michigan, which is right down the road. It's my first time doing stand-up in the great state. Oh, no, it's not my first time doing stand-up in Michigan. I've been to Grand Rapids. I opened for Michelle Wolf there. But I'm going to be coming. It's my first time doing stand-up outside of Detroit or in the Detroit metro area. Very excited. Albany, New York, Brookfield, Wisconsin, which is Milwaukee, and then Richmond, Virginia. JaredFreid.com for tickets. JaredFreid.com for tickets. Also, we have a Patreon version of this show, The Luxury Lounge. If you want to, put up a couple. Listen, I say this with Patreon. It is a large and vast and free internet. You could get anything you'd like, all the reading and information and videos in the world for free. So it is the feathering of a lifetime when people sign up for the Patreon. I'm not saying they're doing me a favor because I'm putting out some great stuff. Shelby and we're putting out some great stuff. Coffee with JTrain on Mondays. I do a luxury lounge every Friday. And I answered advice questions personally for people on there. So patreon.com/JaredFreid if you want to sign up. It's $5 a month, 2 extra podcasts a week. And we just discussed now that will not be taking a break during my summer hiatus that you won't even know. I don't even know why I'm telling you I'm taking a vacation. Maybe it's to brag. That's right. I'm the annoying guy on Instagram. Look at me. I'm in Europe. Ooh, arrivederci. We should make that into a GIF of some sort. Okay, let's do it again for the people at home. Look at me. I'm in Europe. Arrivederci. I'm on Instagram every 5 seconds making Instagram stories. Look at me. Is that good? Do you think we could? Yeah, cut it at arrivederci. Okay, good. So, see, if you're on YouTube, you're watching how the pasta gets made. That's right. That's right. What's the evolution of the fingers? Mamma Mia. This is a Mamma Mia hand. Mm-hmm. If you're watching on YouTube, you're getting all the behind the scenes actions, the BTS. If you're listening, I'm taking my hand, my thumb, and putting it against my 4 fingers, making the Mamma Mia hand. I would love to know that's the documentary I want to watch. Where'd the hand come from?
I have a theory.
Let me bring on our guest. He has a theory. Very excited, today's guest. Back on the podcast, a FOP, friend of the pod, an OKP, original key player, but new to the lounge. Welcome to the lounge, Dave Temple.
What's happening, buddy? Thanks for having me. Thank you, JTrain podcast fans, for having me back.
Dave is hilarious. Everyone's got to go follow Dave. Follow. That's the game here. I hate having to explain this. I know I don't have to explain this. Follow the guest because Dave is fantastic. He's hilarious. At I'm Dave Temple on Instagram. He has a podcast, No Need for Apologies. It's every Sunday. He does it with Derek Gaines, who's also hilarious. They do a show together called Black Ass Comedy Show.
Yeah.
Which, I've seen videos from it.
Yeah.
It's loose.
Oh, yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, it's also the Chosen People show.
The Chosen People show.
No, that's just making fun of the Jewish show that you were doing.
The Chosen. It's got to be, people wonder why people don't enjoy Jews. When you call yourself the Chosen People, self-proclaimed, it's, I can understand it. It's a little cocky.
Side note, during the pandemic, I read the Quran, right?
You read the Quran.
Yeah.
The pandemic was hard.
Oh, God,
You're like,
yeah.
I got nothing left to read.
Right.
Bring on the Quran.
But there is a part in the Quran where they say, like, hey, look, non-believers, they'll all be forgiven. God is merciful. Everyone will get into the kingdom of heaven. Except those Jews.
Really?
That's
in the Quran?
Except Jews because...
Wait a minute. You're reading the English version, I'm assuming.
Yeah, could be tainted.
Well, when they translated it, like I don't have the balls. Like if I saw that and I'm like, you know what? We'll leave this part. We'll soften this. Except the ones that get too hot and complain and whiny. Like I would be more like,
right. And
vague.
I'm not saying that I agree with the book and that the book is right. I'm just saying it blew my mind that it came across that way.
You didn't say you disagreed, but okay.
But what it was saying was because the Jews are like, no, we're right. We know. We that's the thing that Islam was like.
Yes,
everybody but them.
Yeah. Listen. You gotta if you want to come out here saying you're the chosen people, you're gonna piss people off. I have to admit, I was just in Springfield, Missouri, and I literally I do a joke. It's a throwaway line. I say I go to Boca Raton. I'll give away the line. I say I go to Boca Raton and I go for the Gentiles in the room. Boca is where we control the weather from.
Yeah,
and it's a total joke.
Yeah.
But you could see in Springfield they're going. Really?
And you're like, shit.
And the banks too, you know,
Yeah.
and you're like, and I always make a note. I'm like, the less they get, that's like my barometer. You know, have barometer jokes. Mm-hmm. You know, those jokes that tell you something else about the audience you're doing jokes for. That is a joke where I'm like, oh, I gotta explain some things, or I gotta leave out some things, or maybe not reference, you know, be a little less of a, you know, chosen one.
Yeah.
you know, a little less chosen.
That's the other thing I noticed about the Quran. If we're going to do a little pros and cons.
Pros and cons on the Quran. Listen, the views expressed by the guests on the JTrain podcast Luxury Lounge Edition do not express... Okay, go ahead.
Right, but they knew the intellect of people they were talking to.
Interesting.
If you read it, you're reading this like, who is it? Oh,
they knew the audience.
Yeah, it's like, okay, yeah, more warlike tribes in the desert. Like, yeah, you can't.
It's like a pump up thing.
Yeah, that's why it appeals. If you notice, there's a certain type of person, especially the people who convert. You know what I mean? There's a certain type of person that appeals to.
Okay, I don't know anything from this, but I
read it for yourself.
Everyone, this is our first suggestion here in the lounge is check out the Quran.
Go read the Quran, everybody. It's a must read. Oprah recommends.
And our first sponsor, today's episode is brought to you by the Quran. Dave, I'm pumped to have you here. Everyone go follow Dave. The podcast is fantastic. I've been a guest on No Need for Apologies. It's a fun podcast. Derek and Dave, they're fucking hilarious. It's every Sunday. I'm Dave Temple on Instagram, on YouTube, on all the socials. I'll have it tagged in my stuff. And the Black Ass Comedy Show it's at the Brooklyn Comedy Club, right?
Yeah. Every Sunday around 10 o'clock.
So people, if you're looking for something loose, fun to do, your Sunday night, you're like, it's a school night, but let's do something cool. You feel cool being at that show, I would assume. Because it's just like people hanging, people talking.
The closest to Def Jam you're gonna get.
Love it.
DJ, you know, we're cutting on the audience. We're cutting on comics if they don't do well. We're cutting on comics even if they do well.
That's
you know
the
what I
beauty
mean?
of being in New York. I don't know if people understand. There's so many cool shows in New York where you can watch comics that you do and don't know. Mm-hmm. Kind of like, cook a little bit.
Exactly. And here's the other beautiful thing, because I can hear the listeners already. But JTrain, we don't all live in New York.
No, not all of them do.
You have a international.
Yeah.
Everyone can't just come in.
There are people in Istanbul carrying their Quran.
Right.
To go pray, listening to this show right now.
And the beautiful thing, because we are aware of that and aware of the future, we've developed a live stream with that show.
A live stream. So where can they find the live stream?
Gas Digital Network /events.
See, I love that. So is it free? Is it cost? What is it cost?
Here's the deal.
Okay.
If you want to just come in and check out one show, $5 pay-per-view.
Oh.
If you want to just tune in and really become a diehard fan of No Need, you get a 7-day trial on Gas Digital using promo code NNFA. 7-day trial.
NNFA. 7-day trial.
And boom, you get access to all of our content. Everything else is on the network, and you get access to that pay-per-view.
So now, this is actually a beautiful thing. I can plan someone's Sunday. This is if you're at home on a Sunday, maybe you're hearing this now. Let's make a plan. Airplay it to the TV. It'll be like you're in a room in Brooklyn.
Yes.
That's very cool. That's fun. Wait, that is 2022. It's everything. That's where you get the beauty of never leaving your couch to experience a night in Brooklyn where people are making fun of each other and a DJ's playing. That's fucking great.
Right.
Let's get to the lounge. Before we get into this, we're sponsored. Brooklinen. JTrain is sponsored by Brooklinen. Listen, we know Brooklinen. They've been here for a long time. They've been a supporter of this show for a long time. I am a huge fan of everything Brooklinen does. And here's how I know Brooklinen has gotten great. I have my mom asking for Brooklinen. So they've broken out of new company that sponsors podcast world. They've broken into mom land, so to speak. It's mom approved. Like kid loves, podcasters love it. Mom's approved.
Podcast tested, mother approved.
Podcast tested, mother approved. That's right. Listen, we're writing ad copy for them. They work directly with suppliers, and Brooklinen cuts out the markups and passes the savings on to you. So it's hotel quality, beautiful products. They have sheets that are crafted with smooth, long staple cotton. I mean, the sheets are on my bed. You can see them. Like I don't want to, I don't want to break the illusion here, but we taped this in my apartment. You can see the sheets. They're luxurious. And you'll be drifting off to sleep in no time while staying chill throughout the night. Not sure where to start? Take Brooklyn Linen's online quiz. Find the products you will love tailored to your unique preferences. I love that.
Yeah.
We all want made to order, MTO. Brooklinen is doing that with your sheets. That's crazy. Head over to Brooklinen today to keep your cool at home and on the go all summer long. Go to brooklinen.com, use promo code JTrain20 to get $20 off your purchase of $100 or more and free shipping. That's BROOKLINEN.com. Enter promo code JTrain20. Let me repeat that. Enter promo code JTrain20 for $20 off and free shipping. In New York, you can now shop Brooklinen's sheets, towels, and more in-store in Williamsburg and the West Village. Oh, that's where we tape here. That's beautiful. So everyone go check out Brooklinen, JTrain20 to get $20 off. Okay, here's my complaint. You ready? Hit the music, Shelby. Jared, he has some problems. Jared, he's got some issues. You should give this song to the DJ. See if he can do. There'll be listen, a remix of this. Right now. If you're out there and you have some access to some DJ equipment, send us issues. Jared has a issue with a lot of things that if someone took this, like, you ever watch those TikToks where they make songs into other songs?
Yeah.
If someone could take this and make this a good song.
Yeah.
I really do believe that. Like, I have trust in the TikTokers out there. Okay,
industry.
Here's my complaint. You ready? I'm on the flight back. So from Springfield, Missouri, if you fly Delta, there's no direct flight to New York. So you got to go New York to Atlanta. Atlanta takes you to the world. That's, Atlanta's the intersection hub of the universe for a Delta flyer like myself. So I go New York, Atlanta, Springfield. So then I had to come back. Springfield, Atlanta, New York. Okay, when you leave somewhere after a weekend of doing shows, you got to get the earliest flight out. You don't stick around. Stick around, you lose your whole Sunday. Let's get home. And then if you get delayed, you're done, okay?
Mm-hmm.
You live in Springfield, Missouri, especially when you have a connection to make.
Yeah.
So you get that first flight. If you get to Atlanta, you'll be in New York. Don't worry. Even if you're delayed, even if you're canceled, you can count on that. So you have to get on the first flight out of Podunk town to be able to get to Atlanta to get back to New York. Guaranteed. You're speaking to a frequent flyer.
Mm-hmm.
So I go, my flight out of Springfield was a 6 a.m. flight. That's a 5:20 boarding. That means you're waking up at 4:30, 4:40 latest.
Yeah.
Because also you got to make sure you get an Uber, which could take a long time.
Depending on Podunk Town?
Podunk Uber.
I've had to hitch rides in Podunk Towns because there's no Uber available.
You can't find one.
Yeah.
They didn't have Lyft, so I had to switch to Uber. I take Lyft because I get points for Delta. This is all so much information you guys don't even know. Okay. Good information is what I'm giving out pearls here. Attach your Lyft to the Delta. Fuck.
I was about to say, I didn't even know that. So
Double
I learned
miles
something.
to the airport.
Yeah.
It's great. So now I'm on a 6 a.m. flight. I went to bed 12:30 on Saturday. I did 2 shows. So you can't get to bed before 12.
Right.
So let's count the hours. 4 hours of sleep. Mm-hmm. If that. Let's call it 3.5. 4 would be generous.
But in your mind, you're figuring you can make up the 3 between the 2 flights. You might be able to get 3 hours.
But that's the thing. I don't sleep on flights.
Okay.
I end up even drinking coffees.
Eee.
Like I'm just like let's pump this up. Let's just get through it. So I go on the flight from Springfield to Atlanta. I'm having coffee on the flight. I'm doing okay, but I'm starting to like get a little wonky here. Okay, I have to walk. I have to go to what's it called? This is great radio.
2 terminals?
2 terminals over. So I go 2 terminals over, get to my flight 10 minutes before boarding. I actually got to go into a Delta Sky Club, get breakfast. I took a couple bites. I have a story on that on Coffee with JTrain this week if you're a subscriber. And then I literally walk down, get on the flight. I'm good to go. As far as Delta's concerned, this is a perfect day for them.
Right.
I've gotten from Springfield to Atlanta to now New York on time everywhere. Never broke stride. Mm-hmm. Great. I get on the flight. I'm in first class. I got bumped up. I'm sitting in that chair. I'm like, wow, Jared, You did it.
You made some of yourself. Yeah.
All of a sudden, a man is coming on the plane, and I could hear him from the jetway, from the tarmac thing, the boarding thing, whatever that's called. He's going, oh, we got a big plane here, big plane, woo, big plane. Look at that. Oh, here we go. He is a parade float. You know, you could hear him, and you know, even on the
what time is it now in Atlanta?
It's a 9 a.m. flight,
Please.
and I'm up at 4, so I'm like, everything annoys me, and I'm like, what's going on? You could even other people are going, whoa, and he's going, oh, look, got a big plane. Oh, look at that. Oh, look at, hey, nice to meet you. Shaking hands with all the, you know, the flight people? Attendants.
Oh, okay.
He's like,
oh, wow.
And they're giving out the wet naps. He goes, wet naps? What are we gonna put you? Oh, I don't need a wet nap. Oh, are you kidding me? Oh, he is dressed in a Patriots hat and a Patriots t-shirt. Okay, if you're on YouTube, you'll see I'm wearing a Chicago Bears baseball shirt. This is a little bit of a ridiculous shirt, but I like it. I think it fits me well. That's the reason I like it so much. And my brother works for the team, so now I'm like supporting.
Right.
When I wear a Chicago Bears shirt, if I put on the hat too, I'm a crazy person.
Absolutely.
You can wear one item of the team. 2, you're the mascot.
Right.
This guy's got Patriots t-shirt, Patriots hat. I mean, and I'm like, oh, this is a crazy person.
Yeah.
And he's going, oh, look at these seats. Everyone woke up early today. And you're like, there's also something wrong with this person.
Absolutely. He shouldn't be flying alone.
No. So I'm like, as he moves back, I'm like, please God, let this guy keep going to the back of the plane. He goes right into the Delta comfort seat right behind me. I'm in the last row of first class, and he goes right behind me, and he's not stopping. He's going, oh, look at this seat. Oh my God. Oh, we're going to be flying 2 hours, 20 minutes. I don't even think he took a breath. And I'm sitting there, like, I have headphones in, and I'm like, I could hear him over the headphones, even noise reducing. He's literally caddy corner behind me. So he's like yelling into my ear.
Yeah.
And he's talking at this level going, oh, this flight. Oh, what a flight. Well, I love the takeoff.
And no one's responding. No one's engaging.
Because it is all kind of nice, positive stuff. It's not like he came on here and he was like, fuck everyone.
Yeah.
We're not letting the Jews into heaven. You know, like, it was.
The Quran says.
He was totally a nice guy.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, and this is where my complaint comes in. A guy, and it wasn't a fully packed flight, a guy then sits window seat, this guy's aisle, they have a seat in between them. He starts talking up the guy in window, which, again, I understand. This guy, there's nothing you could be like, shut. You couldn't call a flight attendant over to be like, hey, shut this guy up, because he's going, I love to fly. Oh, they said there's going to be a 2 hour and 25. And you're going, oh my God, when is this guy going to run out of gas?
Yeah.
You know? And then the flight takes off. He's still going. And I'm getting, and now he gets whiskey. And he's talking so much that the whole flight stinks of whiskey. He's pouring the whiskey. and my issue isn't with him. My issue is with the guy in window. Because I kept looking back, the guy in window, he's drinking whiskey, and he's going, oh, really? Where did you go to college? Oh, this flight is weird. And it's like, we all have to band together as a society to put our heads down to ignore these crazy people.
Yeah.
Because we can't encourage them. Mm-hmm. You can't sit there. Like, if I was next to that, I wanted to switch seats with the window seat. I wanted to look at the window seat guy and go, hey, you're in first class now.
Yeah.
I'm moving a window. And then have the guy direct his... It was the type of guy that if you made eye contact with him, he was going to start a conversation with you.
Yeah.
And I would go in that window, and he would look at me and go, oh, how's your day going? Where are you coming from? And I would go, sir, I'm listening to something on tape. And I would put in my earphone in front of him.
New York.
I would be a hero this flight. I would go, love the Patriots. Goodbye.
Yeah.
And the guy and everyone would stand up and applaud me because I just took down the villain who doesn't know he's a villain. He doesn't know. That's the thing.
You the clap people would be clapping to the point we think the pilot just landed.
And that's the thing. It is our responsibility as humans living in a society to make sure that we, look out for one another.
Yeah.
And look out is to say, tell this guy to not talk to you so he has no one to talk to. Give him nowhere to go.
Yes.
That's
it's so funny that you say that because I know that thing, and it's also, that is a very New York thing. Especially when you're traveling from the South, any gate that is not going to New York, oh, they're chatting.
Chit-chat.
They're chatting.
It's like they don't even know it's 9 a.m. Like,
man, you see a flight that says going to JFK or LaGuardia, everyone's headphones are in and it is silent at that gate.
No offense taken. My dad says it all the time. It's not business. It's just money. You know. So let's go to your complaint. Hit the music, Shelby.
It's the guest's turn to complain. They're ready to jump in.
You ready to jump in?
Oh, yeah.
They've got lots of problems too. It ain't all about Jared. Let's hear their complaint.
Let's hear your complaint of the day.
Let's hear their complaint of the day. They're
you came on the show.
invited on the show to have some fun and complain with you. Let's hear that complaint.
I love it. Bring back the jingle days, man.
Right.
Okay, so my complaint is pets, man.
Pets.
I think it's gone too far.
I agree.
It is dogs are in places they do not belong.
Literally just happened. Yep.
Yeah, people are sneaking dogs in the comedy shows, in the movie theaters, in the graduations. Like, hey,
I don't understand it.
I don't know what happened. And the thing that I don't like about the dogs, it used to be, at first I thought I was jealous because I didn't grow up getting that kind of affection. So I'd be like, the fact that we give dogs so much, you know what I mean? The toys, the clothes, everything like that. There are poor children who don't get that much love and affection, right?
Yeah, because poor children could disagree with you. You know, like the dog is always going to agree with you.
Right.
No matter, it is a pillow who will kiss you.
Right.
Right?
Right.
So that's why we don't admit to the fact that it is our problem that the dog is helping.
And this is the thing that I've noticed with pet ownership. We are actually passing trauma on to the animals. So you know how usually kids would be fucked up because their parents are weird? Animals are fucked up now. Yeah. Animals are fucked, dude.
You see like shivering animals because the dog parent has anxiety.
They don't look healthy. No. They don't feel like they have patches of fur missing. Like they're stressed out. You know what I mean? Like even cats. I make a joke in my act about how cats don't want to be there. You go to people's houses and they'll be like, hurry up and close the door before the cat runs out.
Shelby's a cat owner. He doesn't run out.
Well, you're probably doing good with your cat. Yeah. But that's what I've realized. Wait, if every time the door opens, the cat is trying to escape, he doesn't want to be there. That means something that you were doing, this cat does not enjoy.
I watched it last night. I was at a restaurant having a drink. Dog at the table.
Yeah.
I mean, we're at a place we're eating food. This morning, I walked to my breakfast place. I had to step over a dog to get in the front door.
Yeah.
And you want to look at the person and go, oh, you've brought up an asshole. The dog doesn't know.
It just lounges there.
Just lounges in front of the door.
Someone brought a dog to the Black Ass Comedy Show last night. They were patronizing the bar up front. But the dog was just laying up underneath of the chairs under the bar. And he's not hurting anybody.
No.
But there was a time if a dog roamed into a bar, like a big dog, everyone would fucking freak out. They'd be scared.
Yeah.
Because, this is a beast coming in. We have no fear of dogs anymore. They just...
Well, that's the thing. It's a pillow.
And that's not where they're supposed to be. A dog is not supposed to be in a bar on a Sunday night while their owner is getting and being used for the owner to try to get laid. That's not what a dog was put here on earth.
No, it was the protection. Yeah.
It's gotten weird, man.
It's gotten bad. When I saw the dog at dinner, and then I was like, and the owner was this beautiful woman.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, and I it made me a worse person because I was like, of course. Hot chick brings the dog anywhere she wants. Yeah. And now I'm the dick who's judging someone and their whole lifestyle. But I'm like, I'm probably right. No one ever looked at her and was like, get the fucking dog out of here.
Right. No one's going to tell them that. Even now it's weird because ugly chicks are getting away with it too. It's like ugly chicks, hey, this is my dog.
Look at ugly dudes are.
Dudes are bringing dogs around for attention.
Yes. It's
dudes are cutting like just to try. It's so weird. We're using these animals, man. Like, and that's the part to me is the complaint where I have a heart. I don't necessarily want to own animals. People think I hate animals because they're like...
well, that's the thing. They make it into your problem, not theirs. They're using animals and then masquerade this use of animals as emotional support. And you go, okay, so you've put a label on it that's medical to, instead of us going, yeah, you're a dude who uses a dog to get laid. Just admit it. Don't say, oh, well, I get anxiety on Sundays.
But then there's the other aspect of when these animals are an inconvenience and they pass that off. And that value of like, oh, well, I value the dog's comfort over another human's comfort.
It's exactly like the dog laying in front of the doorway of the restaurant. They value the dog being okay in front of the restaurant instead of me having to step over an animal to, a moat of dogs. So listen,
my girlfriend, I just want to add this thing. My girlfriend went to a graduation. Some of her aunts snuck the dog in. Right? There's no reason for a dog to be at the graduation.
What does the dog need to be there? You got to be in the pictures.
But and that's the thing. Well, now, could you hold the dog while I clap?
No.
Okay.
And now it's your problem.
And now, because the dog's not supposed to be at graduation, an entire arena of people clapping, the dog pisses all over the girl that's holding it. Well, now you should immediately address the girl. Hey, we need to get you cleaned up.
Yeah, I fucked up, not the dog.
She allowed that girl to stay covered in pee for 2.5 hours.
Oh my God!
While she continues to take pictures and greet the graduates and stuff like that. And it's
There's just no shame.
Yeah, you're insane. You're that's crazy.
You peed on the person.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
No, but they go, oh, the dog. Oh, he does that sometimes. No. You are a bad owner who didn't train a dog that brought him into the stadium, then peed on someone else. You peed on someone.
Yeah.
JTrainPodcast@gmail.com. We're gonna head in the lounge. People, we are sponsored. Solo Stove. Oh, I love a backyard with friends. Don't you?
Yeah.
Having, beautiful night, couple of beers, couple of drinks, and Solo Stove. What Solo Stove does, it takes an area of your home that you are currently not using. You have bought or rented space. You only use a portion of the space. They say use 10% of your brain. Mm-hmm. I believe you only use 10% of your apartment or home.
True.
Solo Stove is a way to open up the home. Life's best moment happened around a roaring fire. The smokeless fire pit from Solo Stove makes your outdoor moments even more memorable. Instead of having to constantly dodge campfire fumes, you can sit back, relax, and enjoy the fire. This is what it's all about. You put it out in your yard, you put it on your roof, you put it on your deck, and you're good to go. Upgrade your backyard with Solo Stove Fire Pit and create a story-worthy moments without the fireside fumes. Solo Stoves are constructed using beautiful stainless steel. They are specifically designed to regulate airflow and burn more efficiently. It's the perfect catalyst for getting outside and spending more time with family and friends. Build lasting memories around a Solo Stove Fire Pit. This is great. It lights with a few bits of starter. They're so confident that you're going to love it. They offer a lifetime warranty, 30-day free return policy. People, this is a no-brainer. Get big discounts on all fire pits during Solo Stove's summer sale. Use promo code JTrain at solostove.com for an extra $10 off. That's solostove.com, promo code JTrain for $10 off on top of their incredible summer sale discounts. So, people, get out there. Let's go to Solo Stove. You ready to head to the lounge?
Yeah.
We've done a lot of chit-chatting, but I think this has been, it was such fantastic stories. I mean, peeing on someone at the graduation. Luxury Lounge. Injury inquiries. Love the pod. Recently, I had one too many adult bevies and hopped on an electric scooter. I didn't stay upright long, and I wiped out pretty hard. My wrist is the main victim, and it's been in a brace for the last 2 weeks. This is my complaint. Everyone has asked me about what happened, and I have to explain that I'm a dumb fuck that fell off a scooter approximately 687,000 times to anyone that asks. I was at a conference recently, so it was probably 40% of my conversations. I'm so tired of talking about it. Everyone asks the same questions. What did you do? How long is the brace on? And then the inevitable, oh yeah, those scooters are so dangerous, I never get on them. Thanks, Debbie. A little too late now. I was just at a store, and a random lady in line asked me about it. It's gone too far. I'm tired. Sincerely, Scoot, no more. What do you think, Dave Temple?
Hey, man. I mean,
it's been
happening since we were kids, though. You get a cast.
Yeah.
You know the deal.
That's the thing. At least with the cast, you could go, here's a pen, sign it, and then that's your goodbye.
Right.
The problem with the brace is everyone goes, oh, what happened? I mean, also, he has to go to a business conference. Oh, what happened? I'm someone you can't depend on to be an adult.
That is what you're saying.
Right?
That is what you're saying. Hey.
And the person, and listen, I'm not saying I'm better than this person. For whatever reason, we have filled our cities with a bunch of, for some reason, we have filled our cities with a bunch of really fun-looking things to go try out when you're drunk. Right? There's scooters everywhere. There's electric scooters. There's bikes. It's a big playground.
The proposal when the company tries to bring a city to the scooters like that to the city, the proposal always has brochures of like businessmen riding them.
No, that's not who's riding them.
But you know the proposal. Hey, these guys need to get to a quick meeting. You know?
Hey, we're going to turn your city into the most dangerous place to get drunk on earth.
Yeah.
We're going to bring scooters and bikes and skateboards and pogo sticks, and it'll get you to work. And it's like, that's not what it's for. It's for me, drunk on my ass, being like, yeah, I'll take the pogo stick. I can do it. And then my wrist hurts, and I got to go talk to people at work. And I'm an idiot.
I will say that I don't know what city you're in, but I know here in New York, like for the Revel scooters and stuff like that.
The Revel scooters are legit Vespas.
Yes.
Like no one needs that. No one needs that just readily available while you're hammered.
And that's why they cut them off at a certain hour.
Yeah. Okay.
You know what I mean?
That's
what I was trying to get to. The ones, the people who let the scooters and city bikes and stuff like that go 24 hours, like, okay, you know who's riding these things at 1, 2, 3 a.m.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like,
and the problem with this is we have talked so much crap about weather conversations. Let's keep the weather conversations instead of, because that's what they're doing. They're seeing something on you that they can reference, that they don't have to look like Joe Boring who talks about the weather.
Yeah.
So they see that wrist, they go, ooh, interesting conversation. I'll look interested.
Yeah.
You should, if I was this guy, anytime someone asks, what happened to your wrist? Masturbation incident.
Yeah. Huh?
And then no more questions. You're done.
Yeah, Artie Fuqua has come up with pretty interesting answers for his arm sling.
Yeah, Artie Fuqua, great comic. He has an arm sling on. I think and I even asked him. I was like, what happened? Because you want to sound like, here's the thing. We all want to sound like good human beings.
Yeah.
You're not a good human being. You're an okay human being. But you want to sound good. We are acting in public. The
thing is, I don't even think when you're asking out of concern for the person. You want to know what type of person they are. How did that happen?
Yes.
What happened?
Well, that's what this guy's saying. This guy needs a story that makes him sound so good. And so you're either going to go one way or the other. You have to go masturbation incident.
Yeah.
Or you go so highbrow that they're embarrassed at how worse a person they are. Oh, you know what happened? I got, what's the typing disease?
Carpal tunnel.
I got carpal tunnel from writing my dissertation for my doctorate.
Yeah.
And then they go, oh, what? You're a doctor? Yeah, doctor of physics.
Yeah.
And then just and
I was arrested marching for Roe v. Wade. That's
the perfect one. That is the perfect one. I was. Oh, really? So now you won't have to masturbate ever again. You're going to get laid every fucking day. JTrain podcast at gmail.com. JTrain podcast at gmail.com. Here with Dave Temple. We got one more sponsor, people. I love the sponsor. JTrain is sponsored by BetterHelp. Now you have to take care of your mind, okay? We spend so much time taking care of our skin, our hair, and our teeth, and so little care of the most important part of the body, the brain. How well you take care of your brain affects how you experience life. Investing time and energy into mental health is crucial to being happy. Eating right, working out, and getting plenty of sleep are a good start, but there is also no substitute for talk therapy. BetterHelp makes online therapy accessible, convenient, and affordable. That's where I'll come in. Yeah. Accessibility, convenience, affordability. Once you remove the office, that means your therapist doesn't have to pay the office space. That means those savings get moved to you. When you say, hey, I should go seek out therapy, you go, I know, I'm the type of person that goes, who do I even go to? And then I give up. This is a great toe into the therapy water. BetterHelp is online therapy that offers video, phone, and live chat therapy sessions. You can choose to not see anyone on camera. See, they're doing anything they can to make it easy on you to give it a shot.
Yeah.
It's much more affordable than in-person therapy, and you can get matched with a therapist in under 48 hours. JTrain listeners get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/JTrain. That's betterhelp.com/JTrain. 10% off. That's a good deal. Absolutely. Luxury Lounge, health code violation. Dear JTrain, love your work. All the feathers. Let's get into it. The other weekend, I was at a well-known brewery in Williamsburg enjoying a hazy IPA on a sunny Sunday afternoon. To my horror, a young couple right next to me began changing their child's diaper on the very table they were seated at. At least when someone doesn't wash their hands after the bathroom, you don't have to know. Mm-hmm. This is just telling you, just them taking a duty marker and drawing the table with it. I mean, like, I need to make this clear. The table was in the middle of the brewery inside. Baby bits on display. Diapers overflowing. Parents oblivious to basic standards of decency. I was shocked that no one said anything, not even the staff. There is a changing table in the bathroom, by the way, which is adjacent to the sink. In case you're wondering, no, they did not wash their hands. Yeah. At least when someone doesn't wash their hands, we are oblivious to it. Mm-hmm. This is happening right in front of you.
I touched a wet wipe. It's good.
Yeah. My finger, I didn't touch anything. This wasn't a messy one. Can I enjoy my beer without seeing a health code violation before my very eyes or smelling a newborn's digestive process? Is it not extremely rude to the other patrons or staff? Was it my responsibility to say something at the risk of being canceled? Yours truly, your neighborhood health inspector. This is horrible because... Right? Don't you think?
Absolutely. I mean, one...
This is on the level with the dogs.
Yeah. Baby to the brewery is kind of like, hey, slow down. I get it. You weren't able to drink for 9 months.
Yeah.
But like, baby
Chill.
at the brewery, what are we doing?
Come hang out. Put it in the, in the marsupial case. Put it in the, that baby... stomach carrier, the Bjorn, do the thing, have the picture, and get the fuck out.
Right.
The minute the baby starts shitting, time to go. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
What happens is those first 3 months that they're in the house with the baby, they get so used to, because a lot of people do this. I did it included. I was a young parent. Some people just change the diaper right there in the bed. They don't even throw the diaper away. They just throw it on the floor next to the bed. People live like that. The first few months with the baby, gross.
Really?
Gross. That's why people don't really have company other than extreme family. They say it's for the baby's immune system. No, it's so that you don't see how poorly they're managing this.
So they're just living like an otter, just changing the baby. We'll get rid of it.
And that becomes
the dam is just a fucking bunch of diapers.
It becomes apparent how gross they are when they come out and they're like, they're just not aware of. Yeah, I'm pulling a titty out. Yeah, I'm changing the baby on the table. Like they've lost all of
My
that.
issue with this is a metaphor for the whole world. Yeah. Okay, because it starts at a woman breastfeeding at the airport. Mm-hmm. And you go, I get that. There's not a lot of places to breastfeed. You got to feed your baby. And then one guy goes, God is offended and I can't have a titty out at the airport. You get one guy that yells at the woman who's breastfeeding a baby.
Yeah.
And you go, I'm on breastfeeding woman's side on that. Right? You go, that seems shitty. She had to breastfeed the baby. Guy in cowboy hat, Yosemite Sam is like, get her out of here. I'm against that guy.
Correct.
Then what happens is the pendulum keeps swinging left. And now there's a woman in a brewery going, changing her baby, and it's shooting up diarrhea and piss. And then someone goes, this guy's going, I can't say anything because I don't want to be Yosemite Sam that yells at a woman who has to change her baby.
Yeah.
Right? So it's like, and the 1 and 2 are not the same.
Right.
But that person changing the baby does believe.
Argue at a brewery because there's a chance that some adult has shit themselves at the brewery before and did not change it at the table. Yeah. Like there is a space because babies aren't the only ones.
That polite gentleman got hammered at the brewery, shit his pants, stood up, said it's time to go, and left like a gentleman. This person, and the reason this guy doesn't say anything because he's afraid of being seen as Yosemite Sam, anti-woman, anti-mom. And then what the moms do is they come back with, if you don't have a child, which I don't, but you do, you go, you think I have no right to say something because they go, you don't understand. I'm up all night. This is my one beer, and you go, I don't understand.
Right.
So it is the responsibility of the other parents. I mean, I think we should just have like FBI. You know how you pull out the... the FBI would pull out FBI and they pull it out like they're in a soup, and you should be able to pull out what your credentials are. So, dad of 2.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Stop. Hey, get this the fuck out of here.
Father of 2 daughters. Never change them in public on a table like that. You know what I mean?
Right.
Grandchildren also not raised that way. All right. Like hey.
Put it away, Jay.
Although I do think we brought it back full circle. If guys are drunk, they do need scooters to get home if they've shit their pants.
That's true.
You can't take an Uber
You're
with
in a
shit in your
rush.
pants and get a scooter. You don't have to sit down.
You got to risk your wrist. JTrain Podcast at gmail.com. JTrain Podcast at gmail.com. Here with Dave Temple. I'm Dave Temple on Instagram, on YouTube. Go follow. He's got a great podcast. No need for apologies. Every Sunday. And what is it? The Black Ass Comedy Show.
Every Sunday
Every
also.
Sunday.
Yeah,
And they're live streaming it. So if you're sitting in Des Moines, you can watch it from there and feel like you're in Brooklyn hanging out. Luxury Lounge. Objection. No box seats. JTrain and guest, Feather. Huge fan of your pods. I'm working as a summer associate at a big law firm in New York this summer. My firm took us to a baseball game as one of our fun summer events, and I assumed we would be in a box since we were trying to impress us.
Yeah.
Wrong. We sat in the outfield in the normal seats. They only bought us one beer and a hot dog, and we had to buy other food and drinks with our own money. For context, the whole point of being a law firm summer associate is being wined and dined over the summer before working 60-hour weeks after graduating. You work at the firm during the summer before your last year of law school and go back to the same firm after graduation and the bar exam. Other firms got their summer associate box seats at baseball games, tickets to Hamilton, and Bad Bunny concert tickets, all while I'm sitting with the plebes at the baseball game. Thanks for letting me vent. Sincerely, sitting with the plebes. What do we think? I don't know what plebes stands for. Do we know, Shelby? Plebeians? So it's the plebs.
Yeah.
I'm misreading okay, what do you think of this?
I think he needs to find another law firm.
Time to go.
Yeah, absolutely.
They gambled.
Yeah.
And they're going to lose a good associate.
Yeah. You see the
time to
writing
go.
on the wall. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
well, if you're in the bleachers now, what are they going to do when you're a full-time employee? They're not going to be, getting you. I would talk. This is a moment to open your eyes and talk to the other people that work there. It is the expectation versus the reality, right? You go in you're like, ooh, getting that baseball game, summer's intern season, what are the summer associate season, whatever this is, summer associate, and then you go, oh fuck, I chose the wrong place.
yeah, because that means they don't have the box. Mm-hmm. Like, the box is usually
owned by the team or has
owned by the firm.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? And that's the thing. We go whenever we want.
Yes.
Or not whenever we want. The firm goes whenever we want, but like it's always there.
This is also, you bring up a great point, because when you go to law school, so I know very little about the law school world, but I do know that, like, I remember there was this podcast. It might have, and I was listening to it about how it was about, like, basically there's like 5 law schools that, like, you go to those or you don't go at all.
Okay.
It's one of those things.
Wow.
Like, and it's like, I remember there was this podcast, I think it was Malcolm Gladwell had about the Supreme Court or one of these really tough internships to get as a law student. And this one guy, like, he only gets people from, like, the state schools.
Okay.
Like, he doesn't go to the top 5 because he wants to get people to, like, change it up. Like, and so knowing that it's so tough, this is a live viewing of your inadequacies, because you're watching where you literally are watching where you stand in the law world. You couldn't get into the good firm, so now you're at the medium firm. So now, and while you're at the medium firm, you can, make believe, oh, I'm on the right track. And then you go to the baseball game and you're sitting in the fucking bleachers, and the A squad, the alpha betas, the good fraternity is sitting there with champagne on their and lobster tail, looking at you going, oh, you couldn't get into Harvard, could you? Right?
It's a harsh reality check,
reality check, because inside the walls of your firm, you're doing fine.
Yeah.
It is why Instagram stories, I think, is ripping our country at the seams. You used to, your neighbor would go on vacation, you'd say, have a good vacation, and you would just assume in your mind's eye they went on the same vacation that you went on.
Yeah.
And then they'd come back, how was Florida? It was great. Oh, cool, goodbye.
Right.
Now your neighbor goes on vacation, you watch every Instagram story, you see every hotel tagged, you see how much the hotel costs tonight, and you're going, how the fuck are those assholes affording that trip.
Yeah.
So now back to the baseball thing, inside the walls of the firm, you're going, wow, we're a good law firm. We're top 5. And then you go to the outside world and you find out you're a bleacher firm.
Yeah. And you have no ability to flex on Instagram right now. Your summer is gone.
Yeah, you ain't tagging shit.
You don't want to show that hot dog in the plebe seats.
Yeah.
And your stories.
So everyone gets one coupon for a hot dog and a beer, and then as you see the people from the other firm driving by in a Lamborghini golf cart to their amazing lobster tail function.
I know I don't have time to get an answer to this, but I would be curious how many of them it is. Only
Fair.
because I remember one time going to a Sixers game with like my band from high school. Like it was like, marching bands, like 40 of us, you know what I mean?
It's a lot of people.
And the governor of Pennsylvania was at the game. And he happened to be alumni from our high school.
Okay.
And he was definitely just like, oh, wow. By chance, we ran into this guy in the aisles. He's like, oh, wow, you guys, that's my alma mater, man. Well, how many of you is it? And I was like, it's 40 of us. 40. Well, let's take you over here and get some pretzels for everyone. Like,
Yeah, he did the math. He's like, 40. Okay, we're out of the hot dog game. We're going to move to the carbs.
Because I think if it were few of us, he would have changed our seats.
Everyone gets one popcorn kernel. JTrain podcast at gmail.com. JTrain podcast at gmail.com. Here with Dave Temple. I'm Dave Temple. It's going to be on my Instagram. Go follow. At I'm Dave Temple on Instagram. Remote worker is ruining my Hilton Executive Lounge. JTrain, feather. I'm a Hilton Diamond member and love a good excuse. I'm a Hilton Diamond member and I love a good executive lounge. I'm in Dubrovnik, Croatia, trying to relax in the hotel's very nice exec lounge with some snacks and beverages. But today there's a medical doctor loudly transcribing notes on a microphone in the lounge. This is not what the executive lounge is for. He won't shut the fuck up and I am having a horrible time trying to relax. I'm also too much of a pussy to ask him to go elsewhere. If I really wanted to, I could get a drink in the hotel's public bar, but what's the point? What's the point? But the whole point is that it's supposed to be an elite space to relax. This isn't the first incident. I've been in a lounge with remote workers taking a work call within the lounge. This is an abuse of what should be my elite-ish relaxing place. Thank you. What do you think?
This is right up there with the your thing with the first class flight and the guy that's making a bunch of noise up here,
Totally agree. It is a lack of understanding of space, and space also includes your ears.
Yeah.
Your listening space. I think also the big issue here is when you have status, you need to use it. Ooh. So this person is a Hilton. They're saying I could go to the public bar.
Yeah.
But the whole time in the public bar, they would know that all the work they did to accumulate points and to accumulate diamond status was for what?
Right.
Why do they even care to be Hilton exclusive? Because this is what happens. I'm a Delta guy.
Yeah.
So when I fly to Springfield, Missouri, I don't even look for a direct flight. So it's like, why did I take connections to Springfield?
To be loyal to you.
And to not get all the gold that comes with this, this commitment.
Never thought of it like that. You know what I mean?
End up getting mad at yourself. So like this person.
He said he feels like a pussy.
Right.
It's a terrible way to feel. Right. Diamond member, Hilton Diamond pussy?
Right.
No.
Well, that's the thing. They wouldn't feel this way if there was just like, if they paid $20 to get in the lounge and there was a guy talking, they go, oh, fuck it, I'll leave. But it's the again, to bring up the word pussy again, it is an ego check. You start going, oh, I've made a mistake with my whole life.
These points mean nothing. Because
the doctor's transcribing notes. If this is what it was all about. Like
right.
I booked my vacation trip with points.
Yeah.
And you have this moment where it's like, I'm giving in all these points, all the hard work, all the flying and the waking up and using Lyft and all this. And I literally just shoved all my chips into the middle for what?
Yeah, man.
A first class flight. And again, I am going to fly first class. I'm going to enjoy it. I'm going to, clink the champagne. But you go, could I sit in the back and fucking rough it out? and not care? Do you know what I mean? Like,
it's a very interesting. Yeah, that's a tough one because
it fucks with your head.
you don't want to be a psychopath. You don't want you
don't
want to be, but you don't want to be.
You don't want to die like King Tutankhamun, surrounded by all of your diamond medallion points.
Right.
You want to die with nothing because you've used it all.
Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, I think when you do level up and you do have status that way, unfortunately, a sad reality of having status is you have to pay other people to enforce your status.
Right.
You have to have people around to remind people, hey, this guy is someone and they need to be. You can't do it on your own.
You have to protect it. Like it's like when I board the flight, when they say diamond medallion members can board. If someone boards ahead of me, I need the person working the gate to go,
Yeah.
I need it enforced to make me want to be Delta loyal.
Right.
And this person needs someone to go into that Hilton Lounge and go,
Yeah.
to make them feel like they should continue to be brand committed.
Yeah, because I've experienced that on the Amtrak train. I've been the violator of talking in the quiet car.
Well, that's different because no one earned the quiet car.
Well,
If it was the quiet car, you could only get in, because you do Amtrak every week, and then you came in. Hey, what's going on, everybody?
But it's a thing where it's a long train. The quiet car is at the end, right? So you walked all the way to the end of the train and walked through all of the cars. You know what I mean? To seek out the quiet car.
Yeah.
And we just didn't notice. We just happened to walk in, so we're just we're talking. And this guy, excuse me, it's the quiet car.
People get very protective of that quiet car.
And the funny thing is, I was okay with it because I don't want the conflict. I was with a lady. Ladies don't really like being reprimanded. Who the hell is he? And it's just he's a guy who
Wants quiet,
right,
and expected it.
But
he's got the sign on the wall.
If it's not an Amtrak worker tapping the sign,
yeah,
and that's where it's interesting. Where because some people won't respond.
No,
if they don't feel like you have
and it becomes a ego thing.
Yeah.
Well, no one tells me what to do. Who do you think you are? And it's like that guy doesn't think he's anybody. He thinks he thinks he's so little of himself that he needed the protection of the sign on the wall.
And the person that says no one tells me what to do, nothing can be more false. Everyone tells you what to do. That's why you're standing up now.
JTrain podcast at gmail.com. JTrain podcast at gmail.com. Here with Dave Temple. Go follow at I'm Dave Temple. No need for apologies. Great podcast. I always tell people, when I've been on a guest on a show, go listen to my episode first.
Absolutely.
And that'll be your appetizer.
Very, very fun episode with JTrain.
Fun episode. So, SOS International Affairs. Dearest Jared, you're fantastic. Hoping you or your wonderful guest can help me with any insight on an issue. I'm a 27-year-old female from the Midwest. Recently relocated to Germany for a job with Mercedes. It's important to note I do speak German, but I'm living in Stuttgart, a.k.a. the European version of Texas. I didn't know that. Okay. I guess everyone has their version of Texas.
Yeah, I've been to Canada's version.
You have?
Calgary, yeah.
The Stampede. Okay. The dialect for me is similar to Scottish English for us Americans.
Okay.
So it's hard, but I'm really trying to improve on my slang. Well, I would understand if you speak fluent German, you speak fluent German. Who cares? But I wouldn't, like, if that's weird because, okay. My issue is I have never faced so much discrimination in my life. I do realize this is white privilege, but it's to the point where people are saying to me, your accent is terrible. You should go back to the U.S. That's crazy. When I speak German with them, I'm from a lower class, well-known Midwest city, and when my coworkers find out Eminem went to my high school, I am instantly viewed as American trash. I'm getting this in my personal and professional life and just finding it very hard to fit in. I did not experience this when I previously lived in Cologne. My main question is, how would you handle these people? I've worked very hard to be at this point in my career, and of course, no judgments will always be around, but what do you do when you constantly feel unwelcome by a group of people? What do you think? This is horrible.
Yeah, but you just got to ride that out, man, because you're an immigrant. So immigrants always go with the poor people first. And you're always going to be with the poor, most uneducated people in that country. And that's what poor, uneducated people do. they tease the people that are different.
But they're working at, they said they work at, Mercedes. They got a great job. They went abroad to do their job. You think these are like lower people that are doing this?
They're doing that, absolutely.
Yeah. If they're doing that, they're low. Yeah. I mean, they are assholes.
Think about people that you know here that came here from another country as a child and how brutal it was for them and their family.
Sure.
And now they're killing it.
Yeah.
Because they were like, oh, okay, well, you guys aren't going to invite me to the social shit because I'm different. And you realize, unbeknownst to you, whatever social thing you were going to be with them was going to be trash and lower you anyway. You know what I mean?
I guess, to me, sometimes there's a good hidden in the evil. Like, at least I know they're pieces of shit.
Yeah.
If someone came up to me and was like, your dialect means you're trash and you're American trash, I'd be like, all right, well, good talking to you, never again.
Exactly.
Like, now I know it's like, finding out someone hates any group of people. Like right now there's like a lot of like, there's soft racism. There's very few like, I'm a KKK member.
Yeah.
And it's like, there's a lot of more people that are behind closed doors just being pieces of shit.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's like, wouldn't you want to know the pieces of shit? This person's getting a front row seat for the pieces of shit. Exactly. If you want to look at it positively. Right. So now these aren't the people you're going to deal with. These aren't the people that are going to be your friends. I would come up with some stock. I wouldn't put thought towards them, but I would come up with some stock lines in German or whatever language to kind of juke out of it. Like, I would do something to make fun of them back. Like,
to make you feel better, yeah.
Right.
To keep but I'm telling you, time will tell. They will outpace this. Like, I'll put it to you like this. When I was growing up back in Philly, Haitians got made fun of a lot. And even now, as I meet more Haitian adults here in New York, their stories of their trauma is so bad.
Yeah.
Everyone made fun of Haitians growing up.
Okay.
But they're all like super duper engineers.
Yeah.
They're all like, you know what I mean? Like, life got a lot better as they grew up.
Well,
the girls got hotter as they became adults. Like, and it's just like, oh, okay, yeah,
you had to learn how to problem solve. Also, you knew, and again, to go back to, you can shove this person aside and go, okay, out of the way, fucking asshole.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, now you know.
Yeah.
JTrain podcast at gmail.com, JTrain podcast at gmail.com. Keep sending your emails, Luxury Lounge. Title it Luxury Lounge. Give us a little sauce on what we're talking about. Do we have time for one or two more? Two more? Perfect. Okay. Let's do this one. I don't want a new debit card. Jared and Guest. Here's my complaint. I was recently going through my bank statement and noticed a charge that I did not authorize. I reported the charge to my bank and the money was refunded within a few days. Because there was a breach in security, my bank made me aware that they need to send me a new card. I get that this is the best course of action for an unauthorized charge, but man, this card was linked to my Apple Wallet, auto-filled for my online purchases, and was the default for my Amazon account. Yeah, this is annoying. Additionally, I had the card number memorized. Ooh. So here I wait for my new card with underlying feelings of annoyance. Haha. Love the show. I'm traveling this summer. We'll be on the lookout for faux pas bevies as they are not in my area yet. Thanks. What do you think?
Bro, yeah, this is
Brutal.
I've had this thing where I've just allowed charges to stay on the card. Because they're like, oh, well, your card has been compromised. Yeah. And I'm like, fuck it. I'll just, because it's not worth it for me.
It sucks. This is a pain in the ass. Any breach kind of ruins my week. I've gotten to the point of like anxiety with this stuff. Like yesterday, I got sent your Apple account. Put in your new password for your Apple account. I didn't go for a new password. I didn't ask for this. I stared at that email and I'm like, maybe this is a fake email that I'm getting. Like, that's how they get you. You click on the link and then, or someone out there put my name into Apple to get a new password. And then, because I have two-factor authorization, they email me, hey, we heard you're looking for a new password. Put in this code to get your new password. And I was like, no, I didn't do that. Mm-hmm. So then I'm left with this, like, what do I do now? What do I change? Because someone is trying to get my password. I'm not going to put in the code that they just told me to put in. Do I do anything? And I started Googling. I'm like, is this the right email? And then I ended up doing nothing because I think that's the right course of action because I didn't try to change my email. So right, Shelby?
Yeah,
think
but
this
it
is the
ends up taking away like 40 minutes of your focus of like staring at this email and contemplating, what should I... But all to do nothing.
To do nothing. And then I was like, am I going to worry about this the whole night? That I'm going to wake up in the morning and not have my own Apple ID? Like, and my Apple ID is like everything. So to come back to this person, they're losing sleep. They're losing memory. They have to change their card. They, just because someone else was like using their card to, spend $20 at the fucking, 7-Eleven.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see if at some point this electronic money will fail and we'll end up going back to trading rocks or precious metals again.
Just hanging out with wampum. JTrain podcast at gmail.com. JTrain podcast at gmail.com. Here with Dave Temple. Go follow Dave at I'm Dave Temple. Go. Luxury Lounge. Lazy Rivers.
At amusement parks.
Jared, love the podcast. Love to watch your stand-up live. If you come anywhere in a 3-hour radius of me, you can count on me being there. Well, thank you.
Nice.
I've been having a fun time on the shows. I gotta, everyone's putting their stand-up on tape. I think I'm like ready for that. Do you know what I mean? When you have like bits and you're like, I got nothing else to do with these.
Yeah.
I got to put them on tape, I think.
And then post them as clips.
I guess clips, but I don't want to do like the same thing, but also the same thing is what works. That's why people do the same thing. I don't know. I might put out, my thought is, and if you're listening right now, I'd love some feedback. 3 20-minute specials.
Oh, yeah.
Of stand-up.
Yeah.
And then I would chop them up, but in 20-minute bits.
Mm-hmm.
So then I can slowly release and try and fill in the 20 minutes that I lose on the road.
That makes sense.
Right?
Yeah, that's pretty much what Dave Chappelle does, right?
I just watched the Chappelle thing.
These are rants that aren't making the special. Here, put that.
I mean, that was just a hang at his high school. I just watched it. It was good, but it wasn't stand-up. It was. It felt more like the TED Talk I just did.
Yeah, he's selling you the donut holes. Like, here's some shit that was on the floor.
That is true. And he was even talking about how the one special is the genius one.
Mm-hmm.
He's what's the one he just put out? The one that people
the
had.
Closer.
So he is in the special. He goes, the closer will be remembered.
Yes.
So he even tells you this isn't the good one.
Yeah, yeah.
Let's do one more JTrain podcast. Okay, so let's do the Lazy River.
Lazy River.
So yesterday I was at a water park and was blasted in the face and immediately thought of you.
Please elaborate.
What a reputation I formed. I got blasted in the face. You know what that makes me think of? Jared Freid. Let me explain. I decided to go in the Lazy River at this water park, so I get my 2-person tube so I can spread out for an even tan and get situated. I'm about 2 minutes into the Lazy River loop, and there are 3 different waterfalls overhead dumping water onto patrons below with no room to get around them. I am then forced to get absolutely poured on by these waterfalls by freezing cold water. The water is always so fucking cold, but that's another complaint. Why are there unavoidable monsoons around this attraction that literally is called a lazy river? I'm in there to be relaxed and lazy, not to be waterboarded every 5 to 10 minutes. Thank you for letting me air this complaint. I totally agree. You're on the lazy river.
Yeah.
Everything now has to be made extreme. Everything. You can't just have Mountain Dew. You got to have Mountain Dew Code Red, right?
Yeah.
You can't,
Mountain Dew Plus,
right?
Mountain Dew Max.
Yeah, you can't just have a lazy river. They got to go, oh no, we got to make this lazy river good for the TikTok generation. Let's splooge in their face every 10 minutes. And it's like, no, I got on the lazy river.
Yeah. I don't know. I bend the other way with here because the lazy river is for both. It's for kids too. So the kids are there. They want to get splashed in the face every now and again.
That's a different ride.
But the one that's unavoidable, the fall that's unavoidable that you have to get wet is usually the last. It's like to get you out of the tube. Hey, wake up.
And it's supposed to make you. It's cold because it's supposed to be a hot day. So they're looking to refresh you.
Yeah.
But there needs to be an adult lazy river with mist. Do like those let's have adult lazy river and child lazy river. child lazy river can have the big unavoidable monsoon. Adult lazy river has beers you can pick up on the way. A mist going all the time. Someone shooting little shots of vodka in your mouth. Right?
I only love this because
little turnoffs that you can go to, little caves that you can float into, maybe for a sexual experience. Right? Here's the worst part about the lazy river. It is the most unattractive way to sit in any bathing suit you've ever had.
Yeah.
No, the lazy river is just you being like, I guess this is my body now.
Yeah.
This is what you
full
look
on
like.
unflattering position.
It is the most unflattering position. The lazy river is just an hour of this.
Yeah. This is hey, especially if you're going with a significant other, it's like, hey, do you really love me?
You're about to see the real me.
This is the future.
Yes. I look good when I'm straight up and down.
Yeah.
But you're about to see me folded up like I'm in a suitcase.
Yeah. I like though your solution for the adult lazy river and truly making it an adult lazy river, true to Jared Freid, just the norm. Which, if you guys haven't seen, it was another podcast I used to do, Unpopular Opinions. Still one of the greatest opinions of all time. Was you fixing weddings, and it was no more meals at weddings.
I just talked about this the other day. That's so funny you bring this up.
You're still pitching this concept.
I'm still pitching this concept.
The never-ending hors d'oeuvre trays.
Never-ending hors d'oeuvres. And I have a new thing that I've added to this this pitch for weddings is they should tell you at the cocktail hour what the hors d'oeuvres are going to be. They should list them out so that you don't miss one. Don't you ever go to a cocktail hour and you're like, and someone comes up to you and goes, oh, these steak things are amazing. You go, there were steak things? You should walk in and on a chalkboard, it should say steak things,
so
pigs in a blanket.
Come around.
Got that
Excuse
one.
me. Hey, no. But point me into the steak one.
when
Or in my section, when you go back and get another tray, come back here with the steak.
Now you know you didn't miss one. We have 5 things that will be on the agenda.
Yeah.
So you didn't miss an agenda item.
But isn't that just kind of ordering dinner at this point?
No. We're not ordering dinner. Continuous appetizers. Dave Temple, thank you for coming on.
No, thank you for having me, man. It's always a pleasure, man.
A blast. Everyone's got to go follow Dave at I'm Dave Temple on Instagram, YouTube. No need for apologies. Every Sunday, go to Gas Digital, sign up for their free trial or pay the pay-per-view, and go watch Black Ass Sundays.
Yeah. So if you sign up with NNFA and you use that promo code, if you stay on board after the trial, as long as you're in under that code NNFA, you'll never have to pay for that pay-per-view. For $8.50 a month, you have access to every podcast on Gas Digital, include of all of our episodes, all of our bonus content, and that Black Ass live stream every Sunday. You get that show.
And they can start for free, though, with no need for apologies.
Yes.
It's out there. So it's a good way. If I know people breadcrumb their way into these things.
Yes.
Again, no one came here starting with Patreon. So I understand. Go check out No Need for Apologies every Sunday. I'm Jared Freid. We're here every Thursday in the lounge. Keep sending your emails, jtrainpodcast@gmail.com. We'll be back next week.